everybody. Scene change. Gonna make sure our cameras are correct for our next guest. Oh yeah, that looks good.
Bang check.
Looks good.
I left my phone in the car.
You can go get it. You got time if you need to get it.
Lord.
If you need it, we were just talking about that, like how if I don't have mine, then you feel like, something's.
I've also learned, though, that I can't focus. So, like, I can give you 30 minutes. Anything on the phone can wait for 30 minutes, and then I can refocus.
I think 30 minutes.
But if it's sitting right here, I'm going to be like...
If you could
something's going to come through.
If you can do 30 minutes, that's pretty good, I'd say.
I try to be present. It's important. Because it's real easy to not be. We had this conversation yesterday about, like, multitasking. Yeah. And who was I talking to? Wade. And the situation with multitasking, they say that when you're managing more than 3 projects at a time, that you might as well be high. Might as well be stoned. Like your brain
I love being stoned.
I'm stoned all I'm stoned all the time, and that's why I feel like I'm managing 3 projects right now.
And let's talk about
stoned. It's the only way we can manage 3 projects.
Let's talk about being present. I'd rather talk to someone who's not present because it's easy. It's like,
the glaze.
I'm like, where are you? And they're like, I'm right here. I'm like, I'm sorry.
It's better to talk to someone who's not listening. Because
I don't know. It's hard for me sometimes in here. To be honest with you. Sometimes I'm like, I just said something really funny. I don't think he heard that.
Because then if you're listening, you're like, oh, you're listening too much. You're focusing too much.
You're too intensive.
Yeah, you're focusing too much on what I'm saying here.
All right, I think we're good now. That's sounding good. All right, everything looks really, really good.
Warm up.
Yeah, you want to get about an inch off of it when you speak, and just, I'll make you sound good, but you got to be about an inch off of it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, legit. No, you're gonna bring it in, almost kiss it, and then back it away a little bit.
Yep.
There you go.
All right.
I know it feels a little uncomfortable, but
you'll get used to it. All right, Mr. Van, would you like to start?
Sure.
Where's this guy? It's Tuesday 2?
Tuesday 3.
Tuesday 3. Here we go. 3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Joe's here from Fairville Megastore.
Hey!
And Joe brought a guest.
I did. I have been introducing you guys to some of my favorite people, but I realize that the world may not know the brilliance that actually lies behind the brand. And so today, I brought you the Mighty Mouse that runs the Megastore. This is Alicia.
What?
Yeah.
This is the
This
store.
is Miss Megastore?
Miss Megastore.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Right?
I've been wanting to. That's like talking to Ron John. Talking to the person that runs the Megastore, dude?
Yes.
Hold on, is your first name John or Ron?
A fun fact about Ron John, his first name was John and his last name was Ron. Did you know that?
No, I
So
didn't.
it
I
should
made that
actually be
up.
John Ron.
I'm a
So
liar.
John Ron switched things on
Yeah.
us, and that's how he's been gone hidden this whole time.
So let's talk being a manager of Fairvilla, and of course
Not
the
only
Megastore.
a manager, but like that's
Our
the
flagship
store.
location.
Yeah, that's the one that like pretty much the buck stops with that store.
Oh, do you still take the Polaroids of the people
No.
that got caught?
So we don't
shopping?
take them, but we
We
sure
have
do
them.
show them off. Yeah.
I show everybody I can because they're up on the ceiling in our DVD room.
Yeah.
Okay, so they are still there.
Yeah.
Okay, great. You know what? This was one of the questions. I'm so glad you remembered that because we've asked about the Polaroids before, but I might be in those Polaroids because Bill Murphy snuck me in as a joke, and I'm holding a bunch of dildos like I stole them.
No, it's a look.
Yeah.
And they took my picture and they put me up there and then they wrote the date of when the picture and everything.
Hey, if any of our listeners can come to the store and point that out, we will have some sort of
I'll give you a prize. Yeah, I'll give you
Come
a
find
prize. Yeah.
Alicia and show her Dan's picture.
If you find me in there, we'll give you a prize. There you go.
Well,
awesome.
let's talk about the DVD room because now 2025.
God bless the DVD room.
Are people still purchasing DVDs?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you
Very
question?
excitedly.
Do you question it at all? I know that's not your job as a manager of
No.
Fairvilla, but I would be like, have you heard of what's happening
They're
there?
streaming.
Honestly, with what's happening, it's brought more DVD people
Really?
back into our because it's hard to get onto Pornhub and stuff without having to show your ID. You don't have to show us your ID to buy a movie.
Well, now you can't even go on there at all. You can't.
They say show your ID, but that's not even a thing.
They just canceled. They took themselves off of. So then it's like, oh, I'll show my ID.
I had kind of.
I'll show my ID to anybody. I show it to strangers all the time.
I had kind of wondered if like collectors or. And I do mean that in a serious term of like because like there's some some DVDs and stuff that are out there that are never going to make the rounds again. I think we can all agree that at least for right now, that golden age of cinema, adult cinema, where there were big, what do you call it? Like companies, like your Vivids and your, whatever. That's the only one that's coming to mind right now.
You should see the reels that we have. There's like a museum in Bill's office, right? We have the original reel of Deep Throat. Can I say
whoa,
that?
yeah, you can. Yeah, you can say
we
that.
have the
Sold
original
our last copy of Deep Throat, and now it's so hard to find.
So you guys actually have a physical
We
copy?
had a physical. It recently sold.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We have the original reel of The Green Room.
Oh, wow.
Right? We have the original reel of Insatiable, which was that was actually the one that turned our whole store around. That's how Bill Murphy was able to raise funds to buy Fair Villa, was by showing that movie at the theater.
Oh, wow. See, a lot of this stuff that I almost feel like is, a lot of it is like kind of, it is. It's history now.
It's very con, though. Like people who like Comic-Con, there's a whole porn con. Like people do collect those things.
Do they cosplay? Do you cosplay at a corn pond or porn con?
Corn con. Do they cosplay?
They cosplay. If you say, "Can you cosplay?" They're like, "Yeah."
Do they dress
cosplay.
up? What do you like? Look, I'm dressed as I don't know. I'm trying to think of a male porn star from the day. I'm dressed as the dropping loads guy
that you would want to dress.
I'm dropped as Nick Manning.
Because the guys of the day were not attractive. They were not. It was not their faces that got them on film.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
Right? Can we all just, hey, Ron?
Yeah,
nice
very
to see
true.
you,
Ron
Jeremy.
John Holmes, not the most attractive men.
Not a traditional hottie.
I feel like it was a time where less people were willing to do that because it was like way more of a faux pas, way more taboo.
It was.
And then all of a sudden,
were slim.
when the
it's
internet,
wide open now.
Like when the internet came,
the Audubon.
and then we're like, well, all these guys are doing it. I'll do it too.
You're not wrong.
If he can do it.
When there was only like 5 in the 70s, everybody was like, well, I can't do that. Only these 5 ugly dudes can do it. And then when you saw in the early 2000s, you're like, oh, there's thousands. I'm doing it.
And one of the only handsome guys, and EJ threw it in there because he's a pervert, was Peter North.
Yeah.
He was one of the only guys
Classic.
that like classically look. And the other guy, the
other guy.
He's blonde. I'm blanking on him, and he did some.
That Finn-looking dude.
He's very European,
Yeah.
but there's a couple of only and Randy West. Randy West came to the Monsters, and my favorite story about Randy West is he brought us signed pictures of himself, and it was him. Fully boned, full boner, with his hand on a mantle, just like looking at the camera, like, "Hi, how you doing?" And he's hit pre-signed the photos, and he was just handing them out to all of us. Like, I knew you'd want that. I was like, oh, thank you, Randy. You knew I'd want a sign of you standing there in your birthday suit.
And that's why people assume that girls like dick pics.
Yeah,
right there.
We can't say that.
Yeah, that one we can't say. That one we can't say. But that's okay.
By the way,
I sneezed.
I got you.
Someone photoshopped my face on that picture, and I will start handing it out. So I'm gonna sign it.
You could find it online because it was his promo shot. You could and this was later. Like, I met him in the early 2000s. Like, this was like not. He wasn't still performing. I'll send it to you. I think I have it. I think I have it somewhere.
I need that suddenly. Yeah.
Alicia, I want to talk to you about just like customers in general, and because sex and anything to do with that topic is rarely discussed amongst friends, let's say. Like, for instance, I've known the same group of friends since I was in high school, my Miami friends, and
you ever wonder how they do it?
I do.
I think about all of your friends and you. I think about how you and Crystal do it all the time. I'm like, I wonder how they do it.
Yeah, because like it is funny because the only example I have of another like middle-aged dad and their sex life is Daniel. Because we do talk about it on the show.
Try that again. Put a blast on that.
Yeah. And so that's all I know of who else.
And you don't know what I do.
I think I'm a bit of
a mystery. No, I think I'm a mystery because I think I talk.
You told me.
I think I talk the flames.
You tell me all the time.
I say crazy stuff.
I know a sandwich will turn you off.
I think if people knew what I really do, they'd be like, this little boring man. Look at this poor little boring man.
No, you've told me. I've taken little snippets throughout the 20
that's
years.
That's what they call me. That's my sex name is Little Snippets. Who wants a little snippet? You want to snip it?
That makes
Eh,
sense.
but
Who
then-
wants a snip?
But then I realized, like, one day talking to Crystal, because I'm like, this is the normal. And Crystal's like,
You
what are
say
you
that
talking
during sex?
Well,
You're like, this is the normal.
No.
I am now giving you the normal.
And because I only know what Daniel
Warp speed.
has told me, and nobody else. Like, I've never talked to any other of my guy friends about their sexual
The
relationship.
most perverted, you
or-
want to know? Out of all of them, most perverted? You ready? You ready for it? Most perverted. Ready? Are you ready for it? Wizard.
No.
Wizard's most perverted.
No. He's the spectrum blocks all that. It's like a robot.
Yeah, too autistic to have fun.
But anyway, so then what
There
I
is a pervy spectrum, though. There really
Yeah,
is.
there really is.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I
So
think mine
I don't-
lands more in the verbal aspect, not necessarily in the act aspect.
The
If you-
execution.
yeah,
Or-
you know what I mean?
You're
So-
a fantasy guy.
So
Sure.
that tells me that unless you do a podcast where you talk to your little buddy for hours and hours a
Oh,
day,
now we're
and it
becoming
gets-
Gilligan's Island. Did you notice that?
Little
He's the
snippets.
captain, and I'm little buddy.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
and
I'm
then
one red hockey shirt away from being
Sorry.
Gilligan.
And if you don't do that, and then your normal interactions with your guy friends, it never gets brought up. So you and probably
It
most
used
people.
to, though. It used to when you
I
were
don't
when
know.
I was in
my
college.
dad never. My dad
No,
never.
that
talked
was a
to his
gentleman's
friends.
thing. My dad would never talk about that either.
But in college, I guess.
Yeah.
But what
Where
I'm
does
saying is
where
that.
does the concern lie? You need a resource to be able to talk to people about your sex life?
Well,
He's not as
I'm just
open,
saying,
Joe.
no-
He's not as open as like you guys are. I feel like you're in the field, right?
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
you guys are like, if
I
you're.
have to like monitor myself. I go to Disney and I'm like, oh, I can't say that. You watch what you're saying right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Alicia,
because you're like
at
buying.
Disney.
Yeah, you're just like buying a soda and you want to scream dildo in this lady's face.
Oh, you should see our marketing meetings at First Watch.
Yeah.
and also you're shamed by your kinks, I mean, you know, because you think that's weird. What I'm saying,
I don't even know his kinks, but I know they're weird.
we're not talking
Well,
about
this
it.
baseline is you.
Everybody's sitting in shame, right? You're sitting there talking with your guy friends. You're all weird, and it's a weird.
Because you know what
Shame
turns you
that's
on. You know
turkey
what turns
leg,
you
likes
on is
feet.
it's disgusting.
Pudge, like, I don't even know. Like
Yeah, Pudge
something-
Pudge likes anal.
you tie it purple. I
Yeah.
don't know. Anyway, the point being is that no one knows because no one talks about it.
Yeah.
So then,
Oh, they talk about it. You're not picking up on the hints.
No. I'm saying you don't.
No,
like,
you can
who talks-
tell. You could see. Like for instance, I know that you like big mouths and big asses. Just
Well,
from
that's the
picking
standard.
up. No, that's not the standard.
You know-
He likes the women that have super large, like bass mouth. He likes a big
No,
bass
no,
mouth.
no, okay, that's just-
You do like a big bass
No,
mouth.
there's something appealing to it.
See?
To be, it's not like a big
See?
bass
So if
mouth.
I say Julia
Just
Roberts,
like-
you have a reaction?
No, just like the lady from MythBusters,
Oh.
or Julia Roberts,
Yeah.
or
Or that
Emma-
lady that was on
Emma
Ellen that
Stone.
has the unhingeable mega mouth. That lady.
No,
Oh my
that-
God, she
it
looks
gets
like,
too weird.
Oh, it's so big.
So there's a group of guys speaking in shame, hanging their heads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I think that's most guys.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of guys.
and then
That's why Fairvilla's here to
I
help.
was gonna say that's so sad.
So then I feel like then we go in Fairvilla and we don't know what we like, and we're ashamed to even tell you.
Well, you know what you
Rex-
like, but
okay.
you don't necessarily want to blurt it out, right? It's like
Remember when Rex Ryan told everybody he liked feet?
he didn't tell everybody he liked feet.
Oh, yeah,
A
okay.
video got released of him like kind of doing a role play. I thought was his wife.
Yeah.
She had her feet out the window at like an Arby's or something, and he's like walking around the car. Like role playing, hi, what are you doing, miss? Right?
Yeah, and then she had her feet stuck out of the window,
Yeah.
and then he's like,
And you can hear him
yeah.
heavy breathing because he's a big guy, you know.
Yeah,
like
you
he's
like
not
the feet.
Yeah,
And
he's
it-
getting hot like a bulldog.
And who cares? Like out of
But
all
speaking
things,
of role playing though, like if a guy walks in hanging his head in shame and he secretly has a thing for feet, what would someone at the Orlando store have? What kind of conversation would you have to help a guy work his way into a level of comfort to be able to get the things he needs to support his stuff, right?
Well, the first thing I always like to tell people, I will never yuck anybody's yum. Whatever you like.
what if that's what I want?
Yeah, what if I want you to
If
spit on my
that's
yum?
what you want, the great
I
thing
want
is
you to
can
spit on my yum and kick it real hard. Now I want you to stomp on my yum.
I was like, I want the yuck.
Will you stomp my yuck?
I'm sorry.
But I will I love to personal shop with people. I'm like, that's
Okay.
fine. Come on, let's walk together. Let's figure out what we like.
There really is
together.
no
Like,
shame there.
What
and
if
I've
I'm
seen
afraid
this
to tell you?
firsthand. You shouldn't be, though, because you should be afraid to tell me, but not her.
Yeah. Like, see, I'd feel pressure by like, so let's say we walk. I'm like, well, let's go upstairs. You know, like that's the good stuff.
If
Yeah,
you're like, hey, pardon me, where's the beehole room?
And then I'm walking
And we
with
have
you,
one of those.
and then I'm walking by a wall, and then she's like, oh, and you're like, do you see anything you like, sir?
And
And
you're
then
like,
I'm
can
like,
you put a hole in this wall? I'd like that.
no. And then I'm like, well, do you should I like this? See, that's
No,
what I'm
he
saying.
has to be told what to like.
Yeah. Like, is this good? I don't know. I feel like it's all good.
I think there's a difference between having a conversation with someone whose services are available and having a conversation with someone who could serve as a resource.
Right. This
So
is like
when
going
you-
to the library.
Right. I mean, so there's nobody that actually works on our sales floor that has had less than 25 hours of actual training in both products and how to have a conversation and
The
how to make
safety
people
of said
feel comfortable
products.
and how to create a safe space for someone to be able to talk, but at the same token to not themselves as employees feel uncomfortable to be able to say, hey, sounds like you're into this, here's a good resource for you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But they're all trained to be able to do that.
What
point
is your
in that
number
direction.
one selling if you had to just pick a product at the mega store? And since you've been there as long as you have, like, if you had to pick one product that was the true MVP, what would it be?
That's gonna be so hard because it's gonna be like categories for
Yeah, top three.
like for dildos.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
the Mega Man.
The Big Jim. The Big Jim.
there's a brand that I just
Mega.
Yeah. We know
Yeah.
what the
Our top
side
seller
of the
this
spectrum
year
it
was
is.
Antonio Brown.
That's possible.
Yeah, he's out there. He's
But
He's
like-
wanted for murder.
there's like the Shaft, which is a liquid silicone dildo. So it's our top selling dildo every way. 'cause
What's it
it's
called?
The Shaft.
Hush your mouth.
That's
That's supposed to be talking about Shaft. That was the first album I ever got. Seriously, Isaac
You
Hayes,
see the suit.
the theme from
Wash the
Shaft.
hair.
Who is a man
Oh, my
who would
goodness.
fight for the cause of a brother man?
Now,
it is.
for like what the standard middle-aged dad, the norm, like I used to like the dilly dads, where like the normal boring,
The old Bud Light Joe.
yeah. Bud Light Joe.
So Bud Light Joe walks in.
Yeah. What do you think they like, or does it run the spectrum of it? It could be mild to wild, anything. You know, there's
Absolutely.
no
What
stereotype.
about age demographic? Do you find, maybe you can bust some myths for us.
Try.
Do you find that some of the, let's say more seasoned, to be polite, like, ladies and men in their 50s and 60s are crazier than the young folk? Does it skew any way at all? Is it all across the board? Or because I feel like the people that are a little more mature are a little more comfortable, and then they're in turn a little more free with what they would like to do.
You'd like to think so,
No?
but I feel like the next generation's growing up quite
So they're
free.
doing well.
They're
doing
they're
well.
free, right? Do
But
you have an answer to that? What's your
I will
thought?
say, like, the older generation that's been in the game for a while, they're like, no, I'm okay. I got this. I know what I want.
Set in their
like,
ways,
This
yeah.
is what I like. And they're not really big on being like, hey, try this.
Right,
They're
right.
like, no, I know I like this.
Yeah.
So they don't really like to try the new things, where somebody like mid-30s is like, well, what do you suggest?
Okay.
I want to broaden my spectrum.
Okay.
Now
Give me
what?
all the things that fit in my purse.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Like tiny things are popular now too, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Portable things.
tiny things never stop
App
being
control
popular.
is really big right now.
Oh.
So
Remote from the
Remote,
phone,
yeah.
the whole like the digital
draw pictures,
things.
play music.
Yeah, I've never dabbled in any of that, and it does sound fun. You would
So
think that I would be the guy to do that,
fun.
right? Mr. Technology.
yeah,
So
the app,
fun.
but I'd be in there all the time.
I can't stop myself. Yeah, my wife would be like, I'm going into a meeting. I'd be like, yes, you are. I'm about to blow you out of your seat.
You can't turn off access. But I want to tell you guys what we're doing this weekend.
Please.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
super fun. Okay.
Let's do it.
So it's the first time that we've ever done anything like this, and this is really exciting. It serves Orlando and I Drive, and we are actually talking about demographics. We are serving a new population, getting to the niche market of anime festivals.
Whoa.
So we are creating our very first mobile Fairvilla Ecchi Mart. And the entire thing is literally designed around a Japanese market. So the visuals are so fabulous. Felicio's become a fishmonger. He's exceptional. But they're taking over the Rosen, the AFO Festival, and we are sponsoring the games. And we have 6 booths that are focused on all things. You talked about con, on all things con. So we have bright, colorful, creature, weird, cute, cuddly, little, furry, fuzzy, fun, portable,
but
all
it's
of those
also sexual wellness themed.
It is all 18 plus, so we went a little less wellness, a little more fun.
Okay.
So yeah, it's
so a little less oils, a few more tentacles.
Yeah, we are not in the family friendly room.
Okay.
We're
How big is the anime community when it comes to that? It's gigantic.
Huge. They are expecting over 3,000 people, I think, for this one. They've taken over the Rosen, and if this one goes well, we have 4 others lined up before the end of the year.
So,
this is a large market.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but would you guys be the behind the curtain aspect of the con? Like if I were to use an analogy from me going in a video store as a young man, you'd have all the videos I could rent, and then if I wanted to go spicier and was of age, I could go behind the curtain to see the spicy con stuff. This is an untapped thing no one's thought of. That's pretty clever.
We are so excited. We have literally been building this. We're all hands on deck. So
that's cool.
So that's really fun. That's exciting. And then the other thing, of course, we're doing is we're throwing the pool party at Secrets. We're joining them on the 4th of July.
Nice.
So I thought Alicia, the Mighty Mouse of the Megastore, could tell us how we might be able to add some fireworks to the bedroom. What are some of your favorite ways to bring fireworks home?
I like conventional fireworks. I like to set a cake in there. it gets a little smoky, but I pump right through it.
Let me tell you, though, there's some fun accessories.
I can whip a couple snap pops.
That's about the end. I throw them at the ceiling.
There's a gel that we have that feels like a jackhammer. Like it is so
jackhammer
intense.
gel? Sign me up.
And that's the kind of stuff you want.
Yeah, I was some jackhammer gel.
I like to point people towards things they don't really know exist, like the pop rocks that are meant for oral.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is a sensation that people don't always know they love.
And
so
use the ones that are meant for it, not the.
Yes.
You're not supposed to be,
They don't have as hard
dollar
of a
store.
pop.
Yeah,
Don't go there.
Yeah, you could get an
you
infection.
get yucky. There you go. There you go. That's why you shop for these things at Fairville and not the hardware store.
That's why the knowledge is important. You got to go ask Mighty Mouse about it and make sure that it works, or you're going to hurt yourself.
That's right.
So this is happening 4th of July at Secrets.
4th of July
Okay.
Secrets. AFO is this weekend at the Rosen.
I figure you could take your
by.
sons to the hentai anime.
It's the hentai games.
Hentai. You take your sons and get them a couple tentacles, and then swing by Secrets for for July 4th.
So let's talk about the Secrets 4th of July party,
Sure.
because I have a different, like a family 4th of July party. There was some of my friends.
You're going to
and
Miami
kids.
this year.
No, we're going over to Satellite.
Oh, you're going to Satellite.
Yeah, the Wizard's house doing some barbecue.
Do the same old.
Oh God. So what's going to be happening at this 4th of July party?
So there's a takeover at Secrets, right? We have a location in Kissimmee, so there's a takeover, which means that one of the lifestyle groups, you've met Jess and Jordan here before.
They were awesome.
Aren't they so fun?
They're fun?
I love them so much. We're switching the way that we do things up there this year, but one of these things is Fairville is helping to sponsor the party for the 4th of July. So from 1 to 5, we're pinking out the pool. We've got a VIP tent. We want people to come by and grab swag. But I will tell you,
I'm going to slink out with my pink out.
I was there for the 4th of July last year, and it was on a weekday, and that place packs out.
Yeah.
So if you are looking for an adult space to have a good time, to get your willy wet, literally and
you
or
could
figuratively,
be tiny booty shorts, margarita, baby.
That's way more fun.
Yeah, you could be partying down.
I'm throwing the snap pops at it.
And the fun part is that everybody is welcome. Like legit, it is a fabulous place for people. You were talking about there's no shame.
No shame.
Yeah.
There's no shame.
Especially at Secrets. They've seen it all, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
What if I want you?
Great people.
Well, that's a different
They'll
conversation.
provide that too.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I came here to get my my yuck stomped.
My yummed.
Please stomp my yuck. Please.
My wife is making fun of me.
Well, they have a dungeon for that. Remember? They have a dungeon for that.
I
so-
I never liked that. I never understood that part of it.
The dungeon?
No,
Oh, I
no.
do.
Where the wife makes fun of you while it's going on.
Oh, the
I was like,
humiliation and degrading.
Look at how fat and disgusting you are. Look at how small every part of your
some
body.
like,
people
don't do that.
don't do that. I'm not into it.
I don't want that part.
You're really
of it.
harsh on my vibe.
A lot for a Dominique trick.
It's
so.
a lot. It's true. People
Sometimes
make a lot
they
of,
get the exact opposite. Sometimes when the dominatrix, man or woman, says to what do you guess the submissive,
Dom or
right?
sub, yeah.
Yeah, and then they say, and then you get the exact opposite. You're like, look at how disgusting you are. And you're like, yes, I am.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
But
I
Yeah,
actually
they
saw the
like it.
most. This isn't bore you guys, but I saw the most beautiful video the other day, and it was a male dom, female sub, and she was into degradation and humiliation, and they had a whole session together, and she was bawling, sitting on the floor, and watching him love her back to reality after that moment,
Most
like
touching,
bringing her
more
back.
touching than my daughter graduating from college.
But it was so.
I got a tear ran down my face. I've seen a lot of things. I
Makes
was
me
there.
uncomfortable,
I was there as
Joe.
my father took his last breath.
I'm
I'll be
actually-
there when my daughter graduates college, but I will never see anything more touching than a sub cradling that dom after she had stomped his yuck. She stomped his yuck so hard.
So
And-
slap happy's crying or mascara. I'm like, oh.
Point is, there's
I
beauty
know.
in all relationship people.
No.
There are no shame for all of y'all that are listening. And Tom's over here yucking your
No,
yum.
he's not. It's not for him. He doesn't
No,
know.
no. I'm nervous. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like, don't.
Your first time's got to be a little scary, I would imagine. A little bit.
I would
you know,
imagine.
if you don't know what you're doing. But they'll
That's
take
what's
care of you.
important
Are
about
we still talking about
you gotta
secrets?
conversate.
You gotta communicate. Secrets
Yeah.
will take care of you.
How many
Yeah.
old real men died without doing what they wanted?
Oh, all of them.
Right now.
Oh
my
A
God.
generation,
I
right?
mean,
Never, no feet,
millions of
nothing.
old men.
Nothing they ever really liked secretly.
Yeah.
they just like,
And the
"Oh,
last
don't
thought,
tell anybody
and the
that."
last thought in their head as they place their cowboy hat on their table, and they lay back in bed, and they know they're gonna take their last breath, and they take their last breath, and then he's like, I wonder what a foot would have felt on it. Yeah. I wonder what a foot would have
Always
felt on it. And he
wondered.
died. And he died.
Yeah. I wonder how many people think they like something and then it turns out they don't when
No,
they do
that's
it.
very real.
Yeah.
All right, what is that? Where you like fantasize about something, but then you actually do it in real life, and you're like, oh, I just like the fantasy of it.
That's very.
Yeah, it's very popular. I mean,
Yeah,
it'd be a
it's
fantasy.
common,
That's why
actually.
it's so important to conversate and talk before you do it.
Yeah.
Because you should always have a safe word. And you're like, oh, actually, it turns out I don't like that. Safe word, stop.
You know, I learned the hard way too. My safe word was "get me harder." Like I was "get me." It was
said,
"get
"Stop."
me." Yeah, and I was like, "Get me!" And then, my yuck never recovered.
My yuck never recovered. And there's your soundbite.
So
I'm sorry, Tom.
Yeah,
So good.
and then just like if you were gonna just throw out a most popular category that people would be surprised about, what
God, I
would
think we talked about it. It's got to be feet.
Wait,
It's got to be
but-
feet, right?
like what do you think?
No?
Like something?
Oh,
that-
bondage.
Nope.
what what is it?
I think the thing that people don't realize exists a lot, but I sell a lot of it, is sounding.
What? What is
Ooh.
that?
Oh, I know what that is. Hold on, we got to be careful on this
Oh,
one.
That's why I was
that
like,
was a
Oh,
really
now
good
we-
No, no, no,
answer.
that's the-
sound effects.
That's
not what I was gonna say, but that's a
Logic
good
Man has done
answer.
this.
Oh.
Isn't that where you use a rod and you?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's
A rod?
Yeah. Mm.
It's, like a dowsing rod. Why is it called sounding?
Yeah, because when they do it, you're like, ah! I don't know. That's an old joke. That's like old Peter. That's like why'd Peter Pan fly? Yeah, if you hit my Peter with a pan, I'd fly too. It's like the first joke I learned in middle school.
Okay, so it's
And I was today years old.
it's sounding like the word sound.
Like the word sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder why it's called that. I'm gonna
Interesting.
look that up. Hold on.
Okay.
Unless you know.
And there's
Oh
a
my
rod.
God.
And then
Why?
is it
Oh my God, your
okay,
Google
can't
history.
even talk about it.
I would pay to
Yeah.
purchase your Google history.
Okay, so that is more popular. So they get it like a sounding rod, and then
Yep.
they
and all the accoutrement.
Okay, all right,
And
interesting.
some loop.
Okay,
I was gonna
okay.
say always.
Interesting.
Okay, I'll
the
give you the. I'm gonna give you the science on this.
Okay.
In medicine, a sound is a long, slender instrument that's used to probe or dilate body passages.
Oh God!
There you go.
All right.
That's
So,
the answer.
yeah.
I'm gonna
Those
pass
are
out.
definitely the.
This isn't for me. You know, and I'm not yucking. I am not yucking. If you're into that,
Yeah,
God bless you. You're
no,
a tougher man than I am.
Well, now I'm curious.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the thing
Oh, I
with
get lightheaded.
with
Just
all
think
these
about it.
these different kinks that people are like oh that's that's weird or whatever. I'm always like, well, if they like it so much,
Yes.
it's got to be something good about it, right? Like I'm more curious about why you like it. Like it's like the people that eat like Rocky Mountain oysters and stuff. And,
yeah, like exotic, foods that happen to be genitals of lambs.
Oh
and-
yeah, or just oysters in general.
I love
it's
oysters.
you know,
that's a thing I love.
because
and I've had I've had all of those. I've had all
the weird things.
Yeah, tripe and all. Yeah, I've eaten all that stuff.
Yeah,
It's not for me.
tentacles or all the stuff. I'm like, why do they like it? I'm like, I'm a human. They're a human. It's got it's got maybe it's something I don't know.
What's wrong with your mouth?
Maybe I don't know, and I'm missing out.
That's interesting.
I feel
So
like I'm missing
sounding
out.
comes in really hot. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
and it's funny because that is one that I think most guys, and I'm just generalizing here, which is not good, but I do think you would keep that a little closer to the vest because that sounds a little more adventurous. Sounds like if maybe your friends heard about that, they'd be like, "What?
What about
but
like
it's no
dressing?
different than anything else, I guess."
Dressing up your wife like a different person, like put a wig.
Oh,
and
I
then,
think,
like
sure.
role play.
Yeah.
Thing,
Yeah.
and, that's mild.
I think that's
right?
harder
Yeah,
for
apparel,
people, though.
yeah, apparel, and then you always, booty play is our number one selling.
But I think that's
all day,
harder.
all the
What
time.
you're referencing is something requires a wig and costume. That's fine.
And
Right.
acting.
But then the acting is the
Yeah,
part that
yeah.
you're not. I think that's the hard part for people. Like I crush role play. You want role play? I can be the meanest detective, the nicest detective, a girl detective. What do you want? I can be anything you want.
A lot of people find it awkward stepping out of their own shell, and that's the thing: is that getting comfortable in a space where you can be comfortable enough to play. That's important with a partner. That's important where you get your
Yeah.
resources. It's important who you talk to and who your friends are, Tom.
Sure. You know what? I wouldn't make
What are
fun
my
of
friends
you.
like?
We
If you
need a
came
support
in-
group of middle-aged men full of shame.
If you came in, and I'm answering this honestly, if you came in and told me like privately, you're like, oh, Crystal and I tried some sounding, and you know what? That is wild. I would not make fun of you. I would not. I wouldn't say it on the air. No,
You
I
tell it
wouldn't.
to every comedian that comes in.
No, I would not.
You
No, I wouldn't.
you tell all my
I
secrets
promise
to
I won't.
everybody.
I promise I
Yeah, you wouldn't tell it.
I
You
promise I
brought up
won't.
anytime I say the
Fairvilla,
word
we're
sound.
The only reason-
Anytime a Rod comes up,
The only reason I say
Roddy White. It's like Roddy White's celebrity boxing. You're like, oh,
Roddy White. This guy put a rod in his white weenie. That's what I would say.
Well, I know you. I can't trust you with nothing. I can't tell you nothing. Imagine if I
we so want that Photoshop poster, by the
keep
way.
my saying I die with that.
I'm gonna start calling you Roddy White.
We're going to put his Photoshop picture right next to yours with Bill Murphy and the dildos. That's happening.
The chat room.
I've never even heard of
The
this.
chat room is sort of making fun of Tom, and they don't understand. Like, he doesn't understand that a lot of those people have been listening to you for like 20 years. And Riki in the chat room says that you've been talking about putting wigs of your wife for over 20 years.
I know I have. I've never done it one time.
And you've never done
No, I'll die without doing it.
So I think
Oh
we found
no,
the
like
thing.
the old cowboy.
No, we found the thing. No,
No,
your last
I
breath. You're
love
gonna
it.
take your cowboy hat
No,
off.
because-
She didn't put her
Yeah.
foot
no,
up.
she's not going to be. And then I'm going to put the way I'm like, still looks the same.
You smell the same.
I can tell it's you.
Feels exactly the same. Oh, your wig fell off.
Also, what am I saying while doing this?
Wait a minute. Give me the wig. Let me put the wig on.
What a different person.
Oh, that's a whole nother show.
Sometimes I put a wig on pleasure myself.
Gonna put a
right.
bunch of self-tanning lotion on you, like a lot.
Yeah. That's
Because
called,
now we're
that's
getting- now
called
we're
the soul man.
Now we're getting somewhere. Like, how much can we change you?
Yeah. I asked my wife, how
a
much can
wig's
you-
not gonna change that much.
I asked my wife, how much can you sound like Sammy Davis Jr.? A Jewish man. A lot of people don't know that. A Jewish man.
I think we've done more harm. than
Yeah.
good.
I think we gotta get out of here. Let's plug some stuff.
Yeah. So if you want to go to Fairvilla Megastore and walk around and find whatever you want, there is no shame. And
Absolutely not.
professionals, they can walk around with you, which is rare nowadays because I feel like this is the time where if you're going to buy a sexual wellness product, you should buy it at a store and not just online looking at random bot reviews that are all fake anyway.
they're not
And
real.
And you're like, where am I buying from this? It's like every vendor that sells anything in Fairvilla has been vetted by Fairvilla.
Absolutely.
And has had relationships with Fairvilla for most likely over 20 years.
Yeah, what's weird is, and I like calling you Mighty Mouse. I hope that's appropriate. I think she could get most of these vendors on the phone, the
Yeah.
day
Yeah.
of, and if you
Yeah.
had a question or something like that, they've been doing this for
Yeah, we're tied in.
an extremely long time.
53 years.
53 years.
That's
I always
crazy.
say 50. I'm going to start saying 53.
Well,
Way
I
more
tell you what,
impressive.
it was 50 as Fair Villa, and then Bill was 3 years before that as the cinema. So
Yep.
that's where we get the
I love it. Yeah. I mean,
I
all
like
of it
deep
counts.
pockets of history.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. And also, another thing I want to remind you guys, or ask you guys rather, is if you did want a personal shop, is there a specific way that you prefer? Should you call first and say, like, hey, I've got something to shop for, or can you just swing by?
You could just swing by.
See?
If you want to call, you can.
Yeah.
But we're always
Yep.
ready to shop with you.
Absolutely.
crazy.
But we
Yeah.
do have a personal concierge service where, and this happens to me when I'm out in the community a lot, and I meet like women who are scared to go in the store.
Yep.
They need something, right? So I will literally, we have a great relationship. All of our store managers, they can call, make an appointment, and literally say, I have so and so coming in at 6 o'clock. Can you be the
Because
one?
some people want that.
Yeah,
I guess,
absolutely.
you know,
And
like-
can you be the one to receive her when she walks in? Because that level of comfort where somebody grabs you from the moment you enter the door and walks you through the whole thing.
It
But we've
helps.
also had
Yeah.
people that, hey, I will have your bag ready and I will walk it out to you so you don't even have to.
Yeah,
So
you guys were doing that during COVID. I remember
whatever
that.
we got to
Yeah.
do to make sure that people are safe, comfortable, and having a good time.
Yep.
Lots of locations. Go to fairvilla.com
Yep.
for all of them, guys. We
Yeah,
appreciate
that was
you
awesome,
coming
guys.
in.
Thanks so much.
Always fun. Thank you.
And we will be right back.
Awesome, guys.
Perfect.
That was
All right.
funny. Sorry, we're so crazy.
I'm going to bring you a damn
Listen, this was
therapist.
so mild.
I can't wait to actually bring one of our therapists and just let you ask your questions.
Well, it's funny because we have no idea where we're even going to go each time we do this. So it's just like we're going to start it. We started, we're like, where are we going? We're walking a tightrope.
I thought you did good. It's fun.
Thank you, guys. It's always good to see you, Joe.
Oh, yeah, you too, baby. So I think the next time I might bring my iDrive manager.
Oh,
if I
thank
can
you.
find it,
Card
and
and-
give me the personalities behind them. a
Yeah,
little
thank you
bit.
so much.
Oh, I love your card.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Hey, what's your word? What's your word?
Self-care.
Okay, so here's what's
Self-care.
really
That's a
fun.
good one.
So that pleasure fun, that last word is personalized for every one of our managers. So they get to pick the word that matters to them.
Oh, that's
They
cool.
have a word. Isn't that fun?
I like that. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. That was fun.
I'm sure I'll see you again.
Yep.
Bye, guys.
We'll see you soon. Have a great rest of your day.
Hey, next one is summer party.
Okay.
Perfect.
Got that. There's 3. Tuesday 3.
Yeah, Tuesday 3. Then well, I got a
Call now, right?
call.
Are we at lunch now?
Yeah, we're at lunch and we'll be back at 1 with Tom the Mime.
All right.